All right, everybody, good Monday to you. 1:11 is the time right now as we look out live. This is from our station in Fairway, Kansas, and our camera looking out over Shawnee Mission Parkway on what is a gloomy Monday for us. Had a little bit of rain this morning. We've got some more coming back this afternoon and evening, so it's going to be another day that is not super pretty, but hey, who's complaining? Because rain is something that we need, and we get a little bit of that today. There's a lot that we're watching. All right, so we've got rain today, we've got fog tomorrow, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, we've got a weekend system that we're going to have to watch, and we've got new information that just came in that I want to share with you. So there's a lot I want to go through with you here. All right. Number one, let's take a look at what we're going to have for the rest of today. I've got to adjust something on my end here real quick. Just give me a moment. But I want you to see this and how we think today is going to be playing out. All right. So let's switch you over to my graphics. I want to show you what we're looking at. So here's the forecast radar for the rest of today. Little bit of drizzle and some mist and some light pockets of rain out there this afternoon, but it's probably going to fill in as we go deeper into the day. So we've got a first warn on until 7 this evening. So the commute back home could be wet, could be a little slow, could be kind of slick from the rain, that kind of thing. But spotty downpours are going to be around as we go through this evening. So there's 5, probably the heart right there for the evening commute. So the evening commute home is going to be on the wet side before then we get to sunset. And it starts to thin out a little bit. Once we get later on, past 7, 8 o'clock, there's still some showers, but you see the general downward trend. This thing starts to cook out to the east, and it takes the rain largely with it, though there's still a chance on Tuesday that we get a little something. So let me take you through Tuesday. And there we go, about lunchtime, give or take. See that little thing coming through there? That's going to be a cold front, and you're going to feel that one whenever it comes by. Watch it sweep out the clouds, so we'll get sunshine back on Tuesday, but temperatures will be dropping quickly. So I just threw a lot at you. Let me just do it one more time. Here we are right now, and we have a little bit of scattered rain up until about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then it starts to fill in. Evening drive, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're first warning through 7. There's a good chance for rain and probably some good downpours, healthy downpours with it before that starts to slide out. We're cloudy overnight. There's something else for tomorrow morning I want you to see. We're not there yet. But the drive in tomorrow is largely dry. But then we see another little bit of rain that's possible. It's 30% chance, light rain, 10, 11, noon for tomorrow. And then behind it, here comes the sun, and here comes the cold. The thing for tomorrow to watch, we have a first warn on Tuesday, is going to be fog. All right, so this is something that we've had quite a lot of here lately. It's just the pattern that we're in because we finally got some rain and some moisture to come back, and this moisture is really thick in the low part of the atmosphere. And whenever the winds calm down and we cool off at night, the table is set to produce fog. And we didn't have a ton of it this morning, but we're getting a strong signal for widespread fog by Tuesday morning. All right, so here we are at midnight. You can already see the 0.1. That's 1/10 of a mile. And if you get down below a quarter of a mile, so 0.25, you get down below that, you really have slowdowns. Quarter mile and less is gonna cause slowdowns. 1/10 of a mile is really going to slow you down. You just can't see very far at all. And that's going to be, look, I mean, everybody, we don't see this very commonly. Usually fog's pretty patchy. But to see our computer forecast put out widespread and dense fog is a strong signal for tonight and into the morning commute. So be ready for a slow drive into work on Tuesday. The possibility's, decent because of this thick fog. All right, so that's going to be with us for the morning drive. And there you can see, 9 o'clock, starting to lift out. And then remember, tomorrow afternoon, the front comes through, and we'll get back into that sunshine. So let's go to the 7-day. I just want to jump straight in there. So we've got rain this evening, fog tomorrow morning, and then 54. So tomorrow's high temperature is going to come, probably a little after lunchtime. And then the front comes through, and then we'll shave 10 to 12 degrees off by Wednesday. We're down to the 20s Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. So it cools us off. It's not like an Arctic blast, but it's a pretty good cold front. We're down below normal. And Thanksgiving. So there's your dry stretch. Wednesday and Thanksgiving, you're driving, you're going anywhere, you're good to go. It's just going to be chilly. 43, the high for Thanksgiving Day. And then we get into the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here, let me get you the full graphic. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we've got a string of first warns on here. Oh, boy. There's our holiday weekend. We're driving back home or whatever you've got going on. And what is all of this about? So let me show you. Friday, the thing is going to be there's a chance for some rain and maybe a rain-snow mix Friday evening, Friday night. So most of Friday is going to be dry, but we could see a couple snowflakes in Kansas City. It's possible. I would say it's possible. It's not expected in Kansas City. North and east of Kansas City, there's a better chance for some snowflakes mixing in with some rain, not accumulation. We have a better shot at just rain in Kansas City, and that would be anywhere from about 6 p.m. on and 9 p.m. So it could affect some Friday evening plans, not in a major way. It's not a big one, but some minor disruption, and especially with that mixed chance north and east, we just want you to know that. Then we get into Saturday, and this is what's new. There's a chance for rain switching over to snow, and a big range of possibilities with this. Friday is one system. A separate system comes in either Saturday or Sunday. We've got both days under a first warn because it depends on how this plays out. Saturday has a chance for rain switching over to snow, or Saturday could be okay and it moves to Sunday and it would be widespread rain on Sunday. So both days have a chance at you experiencing some, disruption from the weather. But these are the things that we've got to watch. And with this I'm going to tell you, we're dealing with a complex series of storm systems that are going to be coming through on this holiday weekend. And it's Kansas City, and we're getting into wintertime, and we're getting into rapid fire lows with all kinds of, possibilities in how they play out. Just minor track adjustments can cause big changes in what we experience here in the city. Just to say all that, this is the kind of forecast where you tune in every day, and we're going to have updates for you. We will have constant updates. And if you've got plans on any of these days, what we'll do is we'll start out with, hey, here's the range that we've got right now, and then we'll tighten that range up as we see how everything looks to settle in. So just know that this is one that's going to be changing on us. And it's a tricky forecast, but you won't be caught off guard because I'm going to show you the full range of what could happen. Let's start out here with the cold that comes in. So we start that on Wednesday, but Thursday and into the weekend, there's actually another front that comes in, and that's going to hold us down. So high temperatures on Saturday, it'll be about 40 in Kansas City. You can see that front goes all the way down into the southern states. We're going to get well below normal for our weekend. Now let me show you this. So I've got two computer forecasts or scenarios that I want to run through. This is exactly what we look at behind the scenes. And I want to bring you into that, and you can see what we see, and this will give you what's on the table. What are we working with here? All right, here's number one. And notice here's Friday morning, and we've got this chance for rain and snow. Let me zoom this in. I'm going to actually open this graphic. And we're going to zoom into Kansas City. All right. So there we go. Friday morning. You see that? That little stripe of what may be all snow in our northeastern counties. Friday afternoon. For Kansas City, it's close, and we'll keep an eye on it. Probably just rain. And then that rain-snow mix. So there you can see Friday, we're getting into 4, 5, 6. Evening commute time on Friday. Could be pretty wet around here. And snow north and east. And that will continue into Friday night. Notice Kansas City. I think our temperatures are going to probably stay in the upper 30s to low 40s from what I can tell from right now. Then we get colder air to come in on Saturday. Now, Saturday starts with rain, but look at this. And this is what's new, and this is what I want you to see. If it plays out this way, where the storm system is fast and tracks to the south, meaning it comes in on Saturday and it tracks south of Kansas City, then we get the rain and the cold air spills in. Notice we've got north winds here, and that would bring snow on Saturday. Rain switching to snow. If it goes this way, and if it plays out the way that this computer is modeling here, this is the European forecast, by the way, the European computer model, which is it's the gold standard weather model for long-range forecasting. Now, it's a weather model, and weather models, they have good days and bad days. But it's the gold standard, and it forecasts for the entire globe. It's from Europe, but it works for any place on the globe. So we look at that, obviously. We want to give you the best information, and this one has been proven over time to be the most reliable computer model. It's one of the 2 primary long-range computer forecasts that we look at, and whenever it says, hey, we could have that, then I need to let you know that that's on the table. It's not a guarantee. It's on the table. And that could, potentially snow through Saturday evening, Saturday night, before, say, midnight, something like that. And then that leaves Sunday dry. Sunday would just be cold. It'd be like highs in the 20s. So that's one scenario and how it could play out. That's the wintry scenario. Now, let me show you the other one. And this will give us a kind of a range here. What are we working with? So this is what we call the American GFS computer forecast model, if you care about such things. But the scenario here, and this is what matters because both of these are reasonable outcomes of how things play out. This one is a north track and slower. So if the storm system were to go north of Kansas City and if it were to delay, this is how this plays out. Friday still looks much the same. Either way, because this is a separate system. It brings a little rain-snow mix chance. Friday, this would not be travel trouble, anything like that, but you can see the general ideas there that we could see some snowflakes in Kansas City, probably just rain for us. North and east have a better shot at some snow or a mix. And then Saturday, largely dry. Not a big deal for us. Because remember, this was the slower one. The system's not here yet. It brings some rain in Saturday late day and into Saturday night. But because the system is tracking north under this scenario, then we stay on the warm side. We don't get the cold air. So it's rain, rain, rain. There's Sunday. Sunday morning starts a little bit of rain. Sunday afternoon's pretty wet, but it's just rain. This one is not one that we would have to worry about as far as travel trouble other than, showers. We'd have widespread showers on Sunday. So that's the lay of the land of how this could play out. So it's too early, for us to be the question. I should never say it's never too early. We can always talk. I show you what we see. How much snow could we have? I'm sure is a follow-up question that a lot of you have. If it were to track to the south, this is what we'd be looking at. Here's Friday's snow. So Friday all stays well north of us. No accumulation on Friday. And then here comes Saturday night. Oh, yep, it's got it for us. And that would be a 1 to 3 inch event. Now, that doesn't account for melting because a lot of that would melt on contact from the warm ground. But that's what that computer is putting out, 6 inches in spots in eastern Illinois. It's like, that's pretty good snow band. And you see these things and sometimes you think, yeah, right. But, these computers are pretty smart and they're good. They give us a good idea of what could happen. If you get a heavy enough band to come through, and that's a pretty good band that it has, then yeah, they could have 6 inches east. Here's the other one. Notice this one keeps all the snow east of Kansas City and north, and this 1 to 3 is actually an error. That'd probably be at like up to an inch, but not an issue for Kansas City. So that's what we got to keep an eyeball on. In fact, I want to edit this graphic while I've got it up. There we go. So that's the north track. So let's go back to your 7-day, and I'll piece all this together, and then we can answer any questions that you've got. All right, so there you go. Right now, Friday late, 50% chance for a rain-snow mix. Saturday, we'll go, 60% chance that we get the rain switching over to snow. So what we will do is every single time we get an update with that, the new information that comes in for Saturday, we'll say, all right, here's what changed. Here's what's new. Here's the trend. What we have to do is watch the trend and see what the prevailing trends are. And then what will happen is usually about 3, 4, 5 days before an event, both computers tend to snap and focus, and we'll see, is it the north or is it the south? Which track is this one wanting to settle in on? And then we can really start to dial in on details. For now, it's A or B. And then Sunday, 50% chance for rain. Sunday's not at risk for snow. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we've got any questions I can answer for you guys. Is there going to be snow this week and next week? Well, Zachary, it's possible. We got to watch Saturday is the day to watch. Amy, you're very welcome. That's the idea. The idea here is I am not forecasting that it will snow on Saturday. And sometimes I think that's the message that gets received whenever we show it on television, because you see a graphic and it looks like, hey, there, snow. That's what they're saying. I want the heads up that this is on the table. It might happen. It might not. But if you have a decision to make about Saturday, let's say you've got a flight, let's say you've got something planned and snow would be an issue for you, I want you aware at least that it's something that we got to consider. And it's not just some flippant far out, it's 90% chance not going to happen. I wouldn't waste your time with that. If I see, especially that computer model, the European, the one that is shown not by us, but scientifically across peer-reviewed work to be the best medium and long-range computer forecast model, and it's saying that, then you need to know that so you can make your call. It's not locked in. It's not guaranteed. It's a very tricky forecast. A lot's going to change. But I would want that. I would want to know, hey, be checking in. Okay? What about Thursday night? Thursday night looks good, Chris. Thanksgiving night should just be cold. We're not worried about anything coming in Thursday night. Nick says, come on, snow. Coming home from Chicago, Chris, Thursday night, then on to Kearney. So you're heading out to, and then on to Kearney and to KC. So Thursday night, you should be good. Chris, you should be all right. Even Friday, much of the day Friday should be okay. Friday night, probably just rain, probably. Maybe a few snowflakes. We don't want to get surprised, but I don't see accumulating issues in Kansas City. Friday, if you're traveling north and east, maybe something that we got to keep an eye on. Okay? All right, everybody. Well, that's the latest from me. I promise you, we've got the full team in here today. We're going to be bringing you updates throughout the day. KCTV 5. We're going to be on 3:30, 4, 4:30, 5, 5:36, the weather show. Join us for the weather show. We're really getting into some stuff. That's going to be at 6:30 to 7. And then, of course, by 10 o'clock tonight, new information coming out by then, too. So we'll see you there. Hope this was helpful for you. That's always the goal. Not trying to make a big deal out of it, but you saw what I saw, and I want you to be aware of that. So hope this was helpful, and we'll see you later on. Take care.